All right, welcome to episode 3 of the 214 Sports Show. We're so glad to have you. My name is Joseph Duffy. This is also TJ Krylowitz and also Courtney Machani joining you for the third episode, as always. How we doing, fellas? How about you, TJ?
I'm tired, man, and I'm also really tired of the Rangers, but I'm feeling great personally.
Yeah, same sentiments. I am tired. I'm probably gonna get in bed after this. And yeah, Rangers suck. So it's good. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, we looking forward to Sunday Night Football, of course, all of our teams.
Yep,
But
football season's back, baby.
it's
Yes,
back,
sir.
so back to go full steam ahead in the NFL. Can't wait, of course, to draft our fantasy teams, which we'll talk about later on in the episode. But I'm glad we can be able to look forward to something else. So
Yeah.
start of the episode, something I saw interesting, of course, North Texas sports. TCU, number 17, then ranked TCU, lost to Coach Prime's Colorado in an upset loss in Coach Prime's Power 5 debut at a new school. What y'all think about that so far? Just briefly.
I loved it. I loved it. I knew going into the season that the Bucks were gonna be a lot better than people expected them to be, or maybe everyone expected them to be good. But I mean, I just saw. I mean, like Coach Prime has that dog in him, so I knew he was gonna have them ready. I didn't really expect much from TCU. Max Duggan and all them boys last year kind of had them on a Cinderella run. I didn't expect it to last long, and yeah, they got whooped like they're supposed to. Now Colorado's defense was giving up a lot more than I expected them to. But when you have Travis Hunter playing like 500 snaps, like something like that's gonna happen. So it's a good window. It's a good window. I love the Buffs.
Yeah, all the hype for the Buffaloes, man, it's a little too much to me to be honest. I think it's a lot. It was a really good win, really impressive. I think they are going to be a good team. But saying Travis Hunter's going to win Heisman, the Buffaloes are back. First of all, the Buffaloes are back. Come on, don't be saying that. We all go to Texas. We know how that is. Like we're not ever going to say that. But I mean, you just have it's just one game. Travis Hunter's not going to be able to keep it going all those snaps on offense and defense the entire season. If he can, give him the Heisman and put him number 1 pick overall immediately. Number 0 pick overall if that's even possible. Like he's going to be one of the better players in NFL history if he can keep that up throughout a whole season. So, and also TCU, man, choking in the last second like a real Dallas team, man. Come on. I think it's time to welcome them as a real Dallas team, especially after going undefeated all season and then losing like 62-7 last year in the national championship. The true Dallas fashion, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was not expecting Colorado to play that well first game. That offense was amazing. Defense needs work for sure. O-line, D-line could get better. But that offense was doing really good. I was impressed by Shador Sanders and Dylan Edwards. And Travis Hunter, of course. So, moving on to the trivia for this morning. Of course, we're recording Wednesday mornings. We are less than a week from the Cowboys kicking off in their 64th season in franchise history. Of course, head coach Tom Landry was called to lead this team what turned out to be an 0-11-1 season. Not a single win in the inaugural season. His team played, of course, at the Cotton Bowl, as we discussed before in a previous trivia. But who did the Cowboys play in that inaugural regular season game to start off an illustrious history at the Cotton Bowl? Who was their first opponent?
You love your Cowboys history questions, man.
Hey,
Uh,
I'll let that rest in your heart. We're gonna move on to
I think I,
our
I think I have a
main.
good I think I have a good guess.
All right, then I think you got it. It
No, no,
shouldn't
no.
be. It shouldn't be
I'll
too
do it
crazy.
afterwards. Yeah, but I got
It
it.
shouldn't be
I think I
too
got it.
crazy. There weren't that many teams back then, so main
True.
talk, of course. Cowboy season to start soon, of course. Kicking off on Sunday Night Football. New York Giants playing at MetLife Stadium. What should we expect from this team on Sunday Night Football? TJ?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how the run game works, to be honest. Uh, just having all the running backs on the roster. Not to mention, we didn't even mention this last week how we have Hunter Lupiki. Lupiki, still trying to learn his name as well, but he's the fullback. He's going to be on the 53-man roster. He can be seen as someone who can be plugged in at the end zone, at the, getting 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s, all those short pickups. Also Rico Dowdle, of course I have Deuce Vaughn. I'll talk about him a little bit more with my fantasy team. I think, just to kind of see how these first touches get with all these new running backs, not kind of technically new, Rico Dowdle, just not having a lot of touches from last year. So just trying to see these first touches, seeing how Tony Pollard comes back from his injury from the San Francisco game. And, so also the Giants have a terrible run defense. They had a terrible run defense last year, and they didn't really do much to address it throughout free agency and throughout the draft. So, I mean, I think if the Cowboys get the run game going early, I think this should be another game where the Cowboys kind of dominate the Giants. I don't want to jinx anything. Don't want to jinx anything. All right. Don't blame me if we lose. But, I think we have a good run game, and I think they have a crappy run defense, and I think that sets up for a good game. A good game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think that this game is kind of gonna be like pretty much every Cowboys and Giants game when Dak Prescott is playing. If correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Dak is undefeated against the Giants ever since he entered the league, and it's probably gonna be the same.
It's been
Like
different since his rookie year. Yeah, he
his
hasn't
rookie
lost
year.
to them since his
Yeah, the
rookie year.
first game, right?
Yeah.
No, for after
Oh
the
yeah,
second
yeah,
game because
yeah.
they
It
swept
was
him
the
his
second
first
game.
Yeah,
season.
swept them. Yeah, yeah. I remember Janoris Jenkins was locking
He was standing up on the
stands up.
bench.
Yeah, but yeah, like obviously, they've had the Giants number. What's gonna be interesting to me is with the new OC coming in, and the new old OC exiting, how that's gonna be. Obviously, when you implement a new system over the off season, a lot of times it's gonna take until like that middle of the season to actually like get it going and actually, like have actually like consistent reps. We saw that last. I don't think it's gonna be like a Nathaniel Hackett situation, obviously, but we saw that with them just like being so slow and it kind of just continue to linger on throughout the season. Obviously, the Cowboys aren't going to be that bad, but I think there's going to be some growing pains, especially when Dak Prescott has been playing in the same offensive system for so long. And so that's for sure going to be something to watch. Obviously, they brought some new firepower on the offense with Brendan Cooks. Tony Pollard is going to be the lead back now, which is also going to be interesting. One, how he comes back from that injury, and two, how he is able to take the role of that lead back role that he was behind Zeke for so long. And so I think those two are going to be the most interesting things I'm going to watch. But I mean, Cowboys defense is still going to be Cowboys defense. The Giants are probably not going to be able to step up to that defense, and so I expect the Cowboys victory. But I think it's going to be a little closer than it was before.
Yeah, week one, like anything can happen. It's not gonna be make or break after this week. What I expect from this team is at least to have a good like passing offense. I expect them to pass efficiently, especially with the new OC. Like you said, Brian Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer. I'm not a huge fan of him, but it'll be interesting to see what he can do different for this team. So
Well, we got McCarthy calling plays now, right? I mean,
that is
obviously we're
true.
still gonna have him doing something. You can't just be an
Yeah,
OC and not do,
Yeah,
I'm a little
Uh,
skeptical about McCarthy calling plays. I'll be honest. A little skeptical about it, but
me and you both.
hey man,
let
I'll leave
me
the jury open.
let me pull this up because yeah, I mean, I was gonna say yeah, play calling should definitely improve. I got a couple stats about it. I think so. I mean, if you look at the statistics, first of all, like the basic statistics, Kellen Moore is actually a pretty good play caller. It's just it. I think it's just mostly the shortcomings over the years. The
He gets too
shortcomings in
cute,
big
yeah.
games. Gets
Yeah.
Yeah.
too cute with stuff. I mean, I think the biggest problem with me with Kellen Moore was, of course, yeah, the lack of getting a little too cute. And also, I mean, I think we just didn't have like enough play action, enough passing plays on first down. I think we always ran the ball. And not evolving the passing plays. We talked about the same concept since Romo has been there. Kellen Moore got his play calling from the Romo system. So I mean, so I saw it from the article or the Athletic, sorry, that over the 4 years of Kellen Moore's reign as OC, the Cowboys were 25th in wide open percentage, so being with no defender within 5 feet or 5 yards when you catch it. 28th in open percentage, so now 3 yards instead of 5 yards while catching the ball, and then 29th in yards after catch.
That's rough.
So, yeah, the concepts in our passing schemes, there's a lot of spot routes. The stats. There's reason to say that Dak has he has an incredibly small window to throw these precision passes, especially last year. You also have to put in the factor that we lost Amari Cooper, who's one of the best route runners in the NFL from last year. So honestly, with these stats, new OC, new concept. Yeah, like Courtney said, maybe growing pains. But I think when Dak Prescott's been all this confidency, or if that's even a word, trying to over the summer being like, I'm not throwing over 10 picks, not throwing over 10 picks, I'm not throwing that many picks this season. I kind of believe him, to be honest. You know, I kind of believe him. I don't. This is gonna come back to bite me, but I really do. I really do. Just because I think the play system did hold him back a little bit. Plus the drops last year, obviously. So that's
Yeah,
all I
like
gotta
you
say about
said,
Kellen Moore.
that with Kellen Moore, like you said, like he pretty much took that system from the Tony Romo days, the Jason Garrett days, and so that like Cowboys kind of like system that they're using was old and outdated. I'd say they're kind of really running the same thing for such a long time, so it could be a great thing for Dak for be out that system. And I mean. It's kind of weird with Kellen Moore because he was getting cute at times, but a lot of times he was being very predictable. Like I know we all remember those first down runs, and for some reason he'll just never ever ever get out of that. And so I for sure think they're gonna do a lot more this year. And I mean it's always better to try new things in the NFL. So I'm excited to see how the offense runs.
I expect a more aggressive approach, like y'all were kind of alluding to, but not being as predictable. I kind of hope that can be a little bit more different this year. We've dominated the Giants these past 6 years, so I'm anxious to see if they won't be as if they can at least try to start off with the right foot in week one. We usually don't have a nice week one. So I'm anxious to see how this team goes. But now flipping over, who are some Giants players that we should be worried about that should be on our radar come Sunday Night Football?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care about the Giants. I don't see them in the way of the Cowboys this
Uh-oh.
season. All right, but I do want to say I do want to watch Saquon Barkley. All right, and that's just because, look, he's getting up there in seasons. A lot of people compared him to Zeke. At this point of Zeke's career, he was declining like crazy. I want to see if he can maintain what he was doing his first couple years before his injuries. I don't know if he can. I also think this is a really bad start to this season for a comeback for Saquon because obviously, now we got Jonathan Hankins back. We got Mozzie Smith now in there, the plug-in. So our run defense is going to be really good. I was just talking about New York having bad run defense. The Cowboys have a good run defense. They struggled last year with it a little bit. They were better more with the passing. They didn't do too good with the run game at times, especially when Jonathan Hankins got hurt. I want to see them improve with the run defense. And I kind of want to see Saquon Barkley, just see him you know, get back to where he was beforehand. I don't really have anything against him, to be honest. I think he's a good player, and I kind of root for him at times. So
Yeah, I think in terms of key players to watch, for sure, I'm gonna be looking at the Giants' offensive line. TJ alluded to it, but the Cowboys' run D got better and was still very good. And so, Evan Neal's coming back for another season. He kind of struggled last year, I'd say so, in that tackle spot. They have a new rookie center, John Michael Schmitz, I believe his name that is going to be getting some reps. And they also have some maturity at the guard position. So it's going to be really interesting to see. How that O-line operates this game and the whole season because they're facing probably one of their biggest tests in the first game of the season. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. Saquon's been known to not ever have a line to run behind. So if they actually need to fix that lineup so he can actually do what he needs to do. Last year we saw that he had one of his better seasons because he was also fully healthy. So I expect that to be something to watch. Players that we should be worried about. I wouldn't say Daniel Jones just because we already know what he is at this point. He can get better. I mean, he did just get paid. Maybe that gives him some inspiration. But the Cowboys, I'm pretty sure, they scheme up against Daniel Jones. But Darren Waller, their new addition from the Raiders, that's something that I for sure want to watch. I want to see what Darren Waller adds to his offense and how he can scheme up in like those mill routes, like a Travis Kelsey type. I just want to see how they use him. And it's gonna be interesting to see if that really opens up the offense. Obviously, that Jen Hyatt as well. I don't think Jen Hyatt is really gonna do much this first week or so, but I'm gonna watch Darren Waller.
I don't even want to talk about Darren Waller, man. I had him in fantasy last year, bro. He completely destroyed my
he,
team. He was so bad
yeah,
last
he
year.
wasn't all that last year at
He was
all.
like, yeah, he's questionable in week 3. Turns out he didn't play till like week 8. I don't know, man. It was awful.
Yeah, like Daniel Jones. I mean, I've never really been like, afraid of his play. It seems to be like when you pressure, you get pressure right in his face. I mean, you can't do anything
Yep.
about it. To be fair, his O-line is not
Mm-hmm.
really doing him any favors. But I'm kind of worried about Darren Waller, like you said, Courtney. We typically don't defend athletic tight ends well these past few years. We can play against some athletic slot receivers and defend them well, or at least adjust against some athletic receivers. But athletic tight ends, I mean, it's looking like it's going to be our Jaron Curses of the world, and some more of our outside linebackers are going to have to cover him. I think that he might go for at least a touchdown, maybe like 50-something yards with Daniel Jones. So Darren Waller, I think he's kind of going to be a problem for us on Sunday night. But Saquon, we usually historically like do well against him, believe it or not. Of course, the game last year at MetLife Stadium, he did very well. But historically, we usually hold him very well. So like you said, TJ, I think our run defense will be improved. But yeah, Darren Waller, I think he's going to be a problem for us. So finally, where can we see this Cowboys team improve from last season? You kind of touched on it last time, TJ, but where can we see this Cowboys team improve?
Well, shoot, man. Maybe improved catching. Yeah, I mean, in the end, yeah, play calling. I was thinking that for what I could think about for improvement. I mean, yeah, again, growing pains is going to happen, but I think in the end, if we can get a new concept running for the passing game, maybe just open up the playbook just a little bit more, especially on first downs. I think this team could improve. Maybe they take a slight drop in offensive, in their offensive stats at the start of the year. Maybe they keep it out throughout the whole season. Maybe it's slow, maybe they just have a worse offense this year. Sometimes that happens. But I do think that this team could get more consistent with offensive drives. And I think this is going to be a good start. Mike McCarthy, again, I know there's a lot of people who are that there's either two Cowboys fans. You either kind of are like, yeah, we could have kept Kellen Moore, or you're like, get him the hell out of here. And I
Yeah.
think McCarthy was kind of he liked him, and there's a reason why he was one of the only assistant coaches to stay once McCarthy got here. But I think McCarthy was just waiting a little too long for these tweaks, for these small little tweaks, and it was never happening over the years. And I think he was just like, fine, I'll do it myself. So, again, I hope that really does improve this team. I really do think that can, or I really hope it does help this team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I think that really hasn't been talked about, and it's kind of been the Cowboys' issue for a pretty long time, is just their performance on the road. Last year they went 4-4 on the road, and at home they went like 8-1. So they obviously do. I mean, mostly every team in the NFL performs better at home. That's obvious. That's why there's a home stadium. But I just want them to be better on the road. I don't want them to go 500. When you want to be a winning team, having that road record is kind of alarming, considering that if you don't win that one seed this time, you're not going to be at home for most of the playoffs until you get face you're the higher seed. So I definitely want them to improve that home record from 4-4. I mean, some of those, I mean that road record, some of those losses were pretty silly, like the Jacksonville loss. I believe they also lost like Green Bay,
Mm-hmm.
Washington. Like it was some stupid. It was a lot of stupid losses in there. So if they can fix up the stupid losses and kind of just stay consistent, like I know they can. Like if they just play like they did against the Vikings every time, then they'll be just fine. And so I think that's the improvement I want to see them improve on.
Yeah, for me, it goes back to defense. I know this defense has been hyped these past 2 years, of course, with Dan Quinn being turnover machines and getting the ball back and stripping and fumbling and getting good sacks. But I think this defense needs to work on sustaining for 17 games. And so we see this team, of course, start well, like last season. Of course, Dak goes out and Cooper Rush is in for at least 6 games, I believe. And so they had to step up to the plate and kind of carry the team on their back. And so we were able to win games mainly because of them and the run game. So as the team went on last year, they started to kind of wane. And of course, that goes a little bit to injury. You can blame maybe fatigue. But if you want to be hyped as this great defense, you gotta stay steady for the whole season. So it can't just be how you do in the first half. You got to finish well too. The run defense kind of tailed off last season. The pass defense kind of tailed off,
Yeah.
especially in third down. So of course you look at that Washington game. Of course, the end of the season, last game of the season, they were getting dominated by Washington of all teams. Sam Howell, who's going to be the QB1 of Washington now. So I want this team to improve in the second half in defense and stay steady for the entire time. This defense is definitely better, but I believe they have much room to improve.
Yeah, I'm gonna say real quick that I think yeah the road record was a little bit concerning, but I think a lot of those road losses were kind of just last second. The Packers and Jaguars were kind of identical in a way that we kind of
Yeah.
just lost. We lost our momentum from the first half, kind of lost in the second half. I think that's what's really concerning is yeah the second half performance. The Eagles loss that was just Cooper Rush lights were too bright for him. And yeah, the Washington game was just, I don't know what that was to be honest.
Like
That
impossible.
was just a
Yeah.
yeah, that was
And
just a
this season just
mess
blown
game,
up.
end of the season. So I mean, they still had a couple good road victories last year. I think one that crosses my mind was the Vikings one. Obviously, how could you forget about the 40-3? And then yeah, I think the Giants road victory was pretty nice last season. But yeah, there's definitely room to improve. Definitely on the road. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. The Titans game was a little concerning at times.
Very
Yeah, I
yes,
think there's
very concerning.
definitely I think there's definitely some places that we can improve on the road, and I think it's mostly the second half. Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. That.
All right, we're gonna be moving on to Texas Rangers. I'm almost at a loss of words.
Can
The
we skip
Texas
this part?
Rangers. Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
Can we skip this part, man?
Truly can't believe what I've been seeing, but honestly, not shocked. This is a kind of crazy downfall. It's not looking good. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's not looking good. So, TJ, what in the world? What is this downfall, man? What are you seeing? What is this?
Look, man. Look, all right. Sometimes I prepare for the show, especially for the Cowboys, and just because there's so much stuff about football that you kind of need to prepare for this kind of stuff. But this one's coming straight from the heart right here, dog. Look, how are you not surprised, first of all? I don't care how many times the Rangers, the Mavericks, whatever, the Cowboys, they screw up in the end. I don't understand how you're not surprised by the biggest collapse I've ever seen in my life for baseball. This is awful. I mean, you're talking about last night, what, with 14-1? I don't even care what the final score was. All that matters was that it was batting practice for the Astros. And that's, Uvalde's coming back for his first game. Doesn't matter. Usually the starters come out and perform. Does not fix the bullpen. All right. I was thinking, okay, maybe Garcia's walk-off home run last game against the Twins was going to turn the season around. It looked like that was the momentum shift that the Rangers needed. Garcia looked like he needed it. Garcia looked like he was about to be back. Everything looked like it was about to be what it was like in May. We're going to win these games. Uvalde's coming back. But how stupid of I to know that no matter if we win a game from a walk-off, that doesn't change the fact that our bullpen still sucks. I
Oh,
can't. I mean, I just can't do this anymore, man. I can't watch this season. I know technically the season's not over, but I'm saying the season's over. I can't do this anymore. If they somehow make the playoffs, it's gonna be, I'll support them. I'm still trying to support them. I watched majority of the game last night. Don't ask me why. It was kind of in the background. I wasn't like
Such
watching it like,
torture.
like eye on the screen the entire time. I was just, promptly like turning around, checking the TV and seeing the score. I mean, I can't. There's not much to say about this team, to be honest. That hasn't been said before. This team has problems. We all know what the problems are. They just aren't getting fixed. They can't really get fixed at this point of the season. But there's no adjustments. There's no adjustments to this. Bochy's still putting out the same people for the bullpen, which he doesn't have much of an option. But there's just been no adjustments. We have Josh Smith batting in our lineup majority of the days now. We're not getting anywhere with doing the same things.
Yeah, I was over back in DFW for Labor Day weekend, and part of me was like, let me go to this Astros game and, nice Labor Day fun, for the family and everything. Let me just get some tickets and go to
You were
Astros game.
better.
Thank God I ain't go. I went swimming
Oh,
instead,
okay.
and that was the best decision I made because that
Oh my
Astros
God.
game was ugly.
Bless you, bless
That
you.
Astros game was ugly. That wasn't as bad as what happened yesterday. Obviously, 14-1, 15-1. For first of all, taking this off, I don't even know. I guess I'm a Texas fan now. Uh, Go Horns. But that hat is a disgrace right now. My take from last week is already like over. I think this is the Rangers' first time losing a playoff spot since April.
Yep.
Who would ever thought that it would have got down to this? They gave up like 20 runs since September, and we're barely in September. I think they gave up like 10 home runs. Like it's some like past 2 games. Like it's ridiculous what's been going on. Um, and yeah, the bullpen is terrible. And so I think I lost all hope. It's quick for me to lose hope in the team, but this is bad. It's just bad.
Yeah, like you were saying, TJ, it's been BP, bro. I mean, Astros have just been teeing off this entire series. Honestly, we've been getting teed off the past 3 weeks. I mean, Jose Altuve, 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. You basically just handed him meatballs. I mean, this bullpen, we have literally nothing to look forward to. I talked about this last week. We have nothing to look forward to when it comes to the late games. We can't come back. Our offense goes to sleep when it comes to 7th inning. And then you have a bullpen who gives up like 6 runs every outing, bro. So I sit up here and I'm like, dude, how can we even make the plays if we wanted to now? You just dropped 2 straight games, of course, to a divisional rival. They just won the Lone Star Series now because we now can't come back in this in-state rivalry. And now, I mean, if we make the playoffs, bro, I believe the Blue Jays finally jumped us now for the third wild card spot. If you make the playoffs, I mean, we'd be an easy out. Easily. We have no bullpen. We have nobody we can rely on in the last 3 innings. Nobody can close a game. Nobody can even do middle relief at this point because they all give up bombs. And then, I mean, in our offense, it's just not clicking like it was at the beginning of the season. So, this team, I really don't know if there's any hope left. I'm going to ask this last question. Maybe give like a brief answer. Maybe. How can this Rangers team sneak into the playoffs? Hopefully, I guess it's kind of obvious, maybe.
Yeah, well, let me tell you first of all, yeah, I think, yeah, the BP man, look, the relievers, every single time you go out there, it looks like the batters know what's coming every single time. Even when it comes to an offensive team like the Twins, who aren't really good offensively, they're not known as an offensive team, and they're going out there and they're dominating sixth, seventh, eighth batters. And the Twins lineup are going out there knowing what's gonna, be pitched. And also, yeah, that was an example of a veteran team versus a young team, coming in the September, knowing the circumstances of these games, and they went out there and they performed. They went out there, even though they got swept by the Yankees beforehand at home, they were able to go out there and perform. They knew what this series meant. The Rangers didn't. They might have, and they just didn't do anything about it because I don't know. But for them to come back in the playoffs right now, it's just going to really come down to the batting. It's going to come down to the batting. They need to make adjustments. They need to learn how to, kind of choke up on two strike pitches. We need to stop striking out, especially in high volume situations, because the bullpen's not fixable. The starters usually get the job done pretty well. But we can't have these games where John Gray or Heaney give up 2-3 runs and that's game over. we can't have that. Um, so the offense needs to get it going again because we need to have at least a 3-run cushion in the ninth inning for me to feel just a little comfortable.
How sad is that?
Um,
How sad is that, honestly? You need a 3-run cushion. How
I
sad
would
is
laugh
that?
right now, man, but I'm tired of laughing from this stuff, man.
Oh
I
my
laugh too
God.
much watching the Rangers.
So embarrassing, man. How about you,
Straight
Courtney?
piss,
Yeah.
man.
I know. I believe this was a game on Labor Day. It was like 5-5. Y'all probably know when they kind of let that lead up. But obviously, the game ended 11-5. So like you said, they can't keep a lead. The bullpen's terrible. Now, in terms of making the playoffs, honestly, they choked enough. Obviously, I expect them to continue choking. And so they're just gonna have to hope another team chokes more than them at this point. And so sometimes they hopefully they just sneak in, because like you said, it's not really a lot. But the Bochy's not really making much adjustments at this point in the season. Do you really? I think you just have to do something about it. But at the same time, it's like there's not much you can do at this point. Where this roster is right now, and so yeah, I think it's just got. I think luck is really what's gonna save this team right now.
Yeah, I mean, that 5-5 game you were talking about, we were up 3-0 in that game. 3-0. Seager's 2-run home run to start the game, of course, in the first inning, and then Garber's home run in the third inning. And then fifth inning, Astros scored 3. Sixth inning, Astros scored 2. Seventh inning, Astros score 6. 6 runs
6
in
with
the
0
inning.
outs. With 0 outs.
Ninth
They
inning,
did
they
not
also
get a
tack on
single
2
out.
more. I mean, you can't get any help from the middle and the late relief. Nothing. So, look forward
And,
to what maybe they can do. Go ahead, teacher.
let me tell this to Spores, all right? This look, man. Seager had a horrible error where there was bases loaded, 0 outs, and Seager had a ball go completely under his glove that would have been an easy double play ball or an easy get the out at home. But that does not give an excuse for Spores spiking the damn ball on a full count with bases loaded. That guy spiked the fastball like it was cricket. I don't understand how that even happens. You're a professional baseball player, but I guess we don't have to worry about it anymore. He did get optioned to AAA, so. But I mean, oh my goodness, man, that was the most infuriating moment.
Oh, man. So, after this Astros game today, of course, it's Wednesday morning. They're going to play the A's here, of course, at Globe Life Field. Then they're going to go to Toronto, a team they're battling for that third wild card spot. Of course, going to Toronto and see what they can do against them. They won 2 of 3 last time they played the Blue Jays at home. So, look forward to seeing what that team can do. We're going to move on to the last segment here. Let's talk about our fantasy teams. We just drafted, of course, last week for our actual organization, but talk about what you've done in some maybe other leagues. Maybe what are your teams looking like in some other leagues? TJ?
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I always lock in for fantasy drafts. All right. I don't lose fantasy. If I do, I mean, look, I'm actually a lot like the Cowboys. I'm gonna be honest, all right? I always dominate the regular season. Playoffs, different story. But look, man, I want to talk about my TSTV team since that was a 14-man league. I've never done a 14-man league. I'm honestly really surprised about how that worked out, man. Really surprised. I got the first pick too. I was like, damn, like first pick in the 14th round, like or 14-man league. Like my second round pick was the
Crazy.
28th. So I mean, I like it. Got Jay Jettas, of course, for the first pick. Hurts in the second or third round. I had to. I had to cave in. People were already picking quarterbacks for some reason. And I got Chris Olave, shout out Courtney, Got some
Yeah, it made
Saints,
me
Alvin
mad. I
Kamara as
seen that.
well. I had to get Alvin Kamara. Fourth and fifth round, back to back. I got Brees Hall and Alvin Kamara. So by week 5, they should be back full force, fully healthy, hopefully. And I think my team can make a huge run. And I got Deuce Vaughn in the last round, so I feel great about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch on TSV first. TJ got the first pick in the draft. I got the last pick in the draft, so it's
Crazy.
definitely yin yang right there. I never got the last pick,
Yeah.
especially 14 man. This is the first time I've ever done 14 man. I'm in two 14 man, but this
Crazy.
is the first year I'm doing both 14 man. So, being the last pick, I had no clue. I had to call up my fantasy gurus, and they said go heavy wide receiver back to back, and so I had to go CeeDee Lamb. I think I went 14, and Cooper Cup fell. And I had Cooper Cup in the last 2 years of fantasy, and he has done me very well. I can't go against Cooper Cup. That's my dog. Unfortunately, he has that thigh issue. I can give him my thigh if he wanted to. Like I need him on the field. Like I need Cooper Cup to have a good season, because if he doesn't have a good season, I'm probably screwed. And then I got TJ Hawkinson, second best tight end in the league. His ear infection is all right because he got paid now, so he'll definitely be seeing the field. And after that, I really don't really know about my team. Kenneth Walker, I think, was a steal. They did draft the running back second round, so I don't really know about that. Javonte Williams is going to be interesting. Sean Payton offense, hopefully, can use him like Alvin Kamara. Dak is still open for interpretation. I got Anthony
telling you,
Richardson,
man.
so
Dak
let's hope
Prescott
Anthony
legacy
Richardson
year.
does some. Hey, if you want him for that legacy year, I'm all for it.
The phone is open.
Yeah, phone's open. No, it's be open till trade deadline. So yeah, I'm excited about my team. CeeDee Lamb's a cheat code. I think we have a great year this year, and he's probably. I might change my name to CeeDee Lamb joke or something after the great year he has. So
Yeah, my team, of course, Jamar Face. I thought that was pretty clever. Of course, with the Flame logo. But
It's pretty good,
this
man.
is my TSTV Sports team now. I had the 4th pick, opposed to your first pick, TJ, and your 14th pick, Courtney. I had the 4th pick. Jamar dropped to me, so I took him, and I was like, oh my God, I'll use this dude. My team seems very boomer bust. I'm not going to lie to you. So I got Josh Allen starting at QB, Jameer Gibbs, and then James Conner as my RBs. Then I got D-Hop. Some are arguing he's washed. I don't really think he's washed, but he's my wide receiver 2. Then, of course, Jamar is my wide receiver 1. And then Jawan Johnson, you know about him, Courtney. He's a good touchdown. He's a good red zone target.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll be good like in the middle of the field. We'll see. And then Brandon Cooks in my flex. Then the Eagles defense, who some may say fell off, but I think they can still be a top 10 defense in fantasy. And then Matt Gay.
Yeah.
So this team, I mean, seems a little boom or bust to me. When I'm playing against this person this week, who I won't name for his privacy, but our projections are looking pretty even. So I'm anxious to see how I do this week. I'm not projected to do much according to this final standings projection. I'm projected to finish 5th. Ooh, I don't know.
5th. Hey man, I'll tell you on my strap, because I'm always king of the regular season here. All right, look, you get a quarterback early, not in a 14-man league. That was pretty crazy. You get a quarterback early. You splurge on a quarterback. All right, and then you always get the best defense and kicker. Always be the first one to pick the defense and the kicker. Trust me, it
What
works.
round?
I go 49ers and Justin Tucker almost every year. The rounds, like 9 and 10.
Yeah, it's early for defense and kicker. Jeez.
Yeah.
Doing that draft,
Yeah, you gotta get those best kickers.
Oh
You
my
better
God.
get. I got
thought
Daniel
the Niners
Carson.
were gonna fall. I thought the Niners defense was gonna fall, and as soon as I was about to pick them, TJ comes in and picks the Niners defense. I was so mad. I went to Cowboys, which I think also gonna be a top 10 defense, but I was so mad when he picked the Niners defense. Couldn't believe it.
I always be looking for them, bro. I be scrolling as far as I can to get that number 1 defense, number 1 kicker. I didn't get it this year because J Tuck is a big name in our fantasy league, obviously, with all of us being from Texas. So, I stuck with Daniel Carlson, who's also probably actually statistically better than J Tuck.
You could argue he's pretty much like the same level as him. A lot of people won't believe it because of Justin Tucker's like game winners, but Daniel Carlson just set the record for most 50-yard makes in a season last year. So
yeah,
hey,
accurate from long range, man. He's what Maher was supposed to be. So
don't even get me started, bro. It's too early for this. Don't even get me started on Brett Maher, bro. Oh my God, Jesus. All right, so we're going back to the answer on trivia, of course. I asked you the Cowboys in their 64th season. Tom Landry, was their head coach in their inaugural season. Of course, they went 0-11-1, where they played the Cotton Bowl. Who was the team they played in that very first game in the Cotton Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys? Who was the team they played? They're actually up 14-0 in this team, and then they blew the lead and lost.
Cowboys fashion.
Dang.
Such a surprise. You go first.
I'm gonna assume that the first game they ever played, even though the division realignments happen all the time, I'm just gonna assume there's some coincidence that they faced a team that's still in their division today. I'm gonna go with the New York Giants. That's the team I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
I
Look,
want to
man,
go Cardinals, but go Giants.
I'm locked in on my answer. Look, 1960s, man. They weren't traveling that much. All right.
That's true.
So I think it was actually, and I think I remember this. I don't know if I'm completely right, but I think it was the Kansas City Chiefs who they played in their first game.
Yeah.
Who was also people don't know this. The Chiefs were located in Dallas their first couple years.
That's true.
All right. I think just 1 year actually. So I think that's what it was. They had the Chiefs play the Cowboys in Dallas for their first game when the Chiefs left them. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I was gonna go Texas. I think they're called the Texas Cheese back then, something like that. I was gonna go them, but I just feel like it's too easy of an answer. Like I just feel like it has to be like some other team.
Well, Courtney, you are wrong. And then TJ, you are actually wrong as well. So,
man.
fellas,
Man.
it was, of
Come
course, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What?
I really didn't know that, honestly. But, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 6-time Super Bowl champions. Legends of the NFL, of course. Historic rivalry with the Dallas Cowboys. They were indeed the first opponent of the Dallas Cowboys in their first regular
Man.
season game at the Cotton Bowl. A winless season,
Man.
of course. So, moving on to the rapid fire questions to close out the show. I'm going to ask you this one more time, going back to fantasy. Who will be the best receiving target in fantasy this season? Of course, you can count tight ends too if you want to.
Look, man, I'm going with the number one pick, Justin Jefferson. I have to. I drafted him. I can't say anyone else. You know, he's already ranked as number one, so I can't just discredit him. I can't. You know, if I wouldn't have picked him number one if I didn't think that. So I'm going Jay Jetta. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, I know it's a basic answer, but I got to defend my players.
Yeah, if you had no one picking, you didn't go Justin Jefferson, you already lost your league. So I would say Justin Jefferson, but if Cooper Kupp fixes that thigh, I'm telling you, he's coming back for that triple crown. I mean, who else on the Rams are they realistically even gonna give it to? I mean, Matthew Stafford loves that man.
Give it to that boy Skowronek.
Tyler Higbee, man.
Oh yeah,
Pass it to Tyler.
Tyler Higbee hasn't been good since his Cincinnati days. I'm not worried about no Higbee. Skowronek, like, come on now. Like, that's a Cooper Kupp. That's his son right there. Cooper Kupp is going to have another amazing season if he can stay on the field. So if it's not Justin Jefferson, which is probably who it's going to be, I'm going to go Cooper Kupp.
I mean, by
Yeah.
the way that the Cardinals, sorry, I always say this, the way the Cardinals training camp's been going recently, Cooper Kupp could go for like 500 yards against Arizona 2 times a year. Like,
Oh yeah, that did you guys see? This is off top. Did you see the video of Gannon hyping up the Cardinals? Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Couldn't motivate me to make a sandwich. Oh my
man.
God. I'll give him a I'll give him a
It's
chance
so
though. I'll
good.
give him a chance. I mean, he doesn't seem like to muster like any emotion from them, but I'll give him a chance. I think people are being too hard on him in the beginning. It's his first season being a head coach.
And
I'll
his
give him a shot. I'll give him a shot.
respectable, but
first season is last season. It's not gonna go
it
good. at
even
all.
motivate me to make
Man, he has nothing to work with this season. I'll be honest. I
That's
mean, they
true.
kind
I
of
think
set
he
him
got
up to
set
fail.
up. Yeah, he got set
Yeah,
up
they
for sure.
they did.
Absolutely
All right,
rough.
sorry, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, for me, it's gonna be Justin Jefferson, of course. I mean, I'm anxious to see how teams play into the season. Of course, being that they lost Adam Thielen, who was a big target for them in the red zone. I'm anxious to see if Justin Jefferson can get more touchdowns this year. And if he does, maybe, like, how are teams going to adjust to him? Because I don't know if people are going to be as threatened by their receiving options now. Of course, they drafted Jordan Addison. Still have TJ Hawkinson. So I'm anxious to see how this team can play when he's probably going to get double, triple teamed every game. How do they adjust to him? So, make sure to see how Justin Jefferson does this season, of course, when the defense will turn up the heat on him for the whole season. Second rapid fire question. I'm going to ask y'all, going back to this Cowboys-Giants game, what's your score prediction? Who's winning? Who's losing? By what margin? Go ahead, TJ.
I think in a lot of Cowboys Giants fashion, I don't know if it's. I know this was how it was last season. Again, won last 11 out of 12 games against the Giants, I believe. I think this is going to be a first half battle. First half battle. It gets close, stays close. Second half, we run away with it. I think we make those adjustments against the New York Giants. We always seem to do. You know, I hate saying this stuff because I feel like I'm jinxing them, but I think it's gonna probably be somewhere around 30. Give me 30-23. 30-20.
Yeah, I think obviously some records gonna break this game. I don't think the Cowboys have won a Week 1 game since they beat the Giants in like 2019, and obviously the Giants haven't beat Dak Prescott since his rookie year. So obviously some records gonna break. I think the Cowboys are gonna win again. Last year they stunk it up Week 1, but they're not facing like no Bucks type of defense. So they're definitely gonna score more than 3 points. I'm gonna go with 31-27. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close. I think they're gonna keep it close, but I think Dak is gonna show that it's his legacy year. I think he's gonna have a fourth game winning drive. And it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I expect that first half, like you said, TJ, to be a kind of a defensive showdown. I think it's going to be really close in the first half, and maybe the Cowboys can kind of take the lead in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go 27-24 Cowboys here. I think they can edge them just a little bit, maybe like a game-winning field goal. I'm thinking this team they're going to wear down the Giants on the run. Second half.
Game-winning field goal by the rookie kicker.
Yeah, man. I'm
Good
big
storyline.
optimistic. I'm big optimistic,
You on the
but that'd be
script?
awesome. Hey, man, I got a script leaked to me. Sorry, but anxious to see how this team does this season. I have them being pretty good. I definitely expect a few divisional losses. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost this game, but I think it's gonna be close. 27-24 Cowboys. That's what I'm gonna lock in at.
I hope we win it because week 2 is gonna be a battle, bro. I swear we better beat. We broke the streak with Tom Brady last season. Maybe we beat the Jets this time with Aaron Rodgers.
Man, starting off
About
against both
time,
New York
man.
teams is crazy.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
think we
Luckily,
need to
Sam
win.
Donald's not there no more. You saw what he did last time he played.
We've never
Cowboys.
beaten him. We never beat him when he was with the Jets. So,
It's good that New York City's got the streets cleared of those ghosts, man. So
Getting at that schedule, the Cowboys schedule is looking crazy, by the way. I mean, alternating home and away. I don't know if y'all seen that, but they're going away, they're going home, then away, and then home again. So, anxious to see what they do this season. We're going to now drop our social medias here. You can follow this entire podcast at 214 Sports Show, of course, on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We're also posting this on YouTube and Spotify. Personally, you can follow us at Joseph_Duffy99 on Instagram and Twitter for me. That's again Joseph_Duffy99. Go ahead, TJ. What's yours?
so you got Instagram. Instagram will be tj.krillowitz, and then at Twitter it will be tj_Krillowitz. And you go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, Instagram's gonna be C Lives a Life. Instagram C Lives a Life. Not Clive. Twitter's gonna be C_Machani. And you can follow me on both socials.
All right, fellas. Episode 3 in the books. Great job once again. So, had fun with y'all again. Please come back to listen again to 214 Sports Show. We do this every week, airing at Thursday in the morning, of course, but we record Wednesday morning. So, come back again. See y'all. Have a good day.